demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the leaves and the brand new anemone flower. And we're going to make, this is part one, and in part one we're going to show you how to make this beautiful, almost like a lily type flower using the die. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and we'll move all the pieces in I've got ready to go with this. I'll move those to one side. I've got a little card for it to go on to. So all I've done here is, to start with, I've taken a simple piece of white linen card from Crafts 2 and I've cut this into 4 A6 pieces. And this is what I do with all my flowers, because all my flower dies that come on the plate are A6. So I basically cut a piece of white card down to 5 3/4 and then cut it off at 4 1/8 of an inch, which gives me 4 even shaped pieces. So I'm simply going to tape it down. And this is the fab thing, you will get all 8 pieces that you need for the flower out from the A6 card and from one pass. It's what makes the John Next Door flower plates so good value and so useful, because you're using less card, you're using less metal, they're a lot better value, and you're also getting exactly the same as you would do with a double price set, because they're all together on one plate. So we'll take these pieces out. You can see here, they're all cut through. Check it on the reverse. But for this technique, what you want to do is just remove the tape, and you don't want to take the flowers out of the die. You're wanting to leave them in because we're going to colour through the die. So I've got a little bit here of a greeny yellow colour onto a finger dauber, and I'm simply going to colour over the back of the die with the dauber and using the ink. And by using a finger dauber rather than a brush or a blending tool, you'll notice it's not getting caught on any bits of the die. I'd really recommend using a finger dauber. And then, as I'm using quite a relatively quick dry ink, I'm going to give that a wipe to clean off my die as much as possible before I actually remove it. I will need to give that a clean anyway. We simply then peel off the backing and pop each flower out, and you'll notice as each one comes out, it has this beautiful tinge of a sort of golden greeny yellow. So we'll pop each one of these out. Every time I do this, I kind of get a bit mesmerised and forget. So we then have 2 of the largest, 2 of the next size, 2 of the next size, and 2 of the smallest. And I'm going to take the dauber and just add a little bit more yellow into the centre of each one. There we go. And it's really simple. Now then, to shape these, I take my pokey tool, take each petal and just roll it round and fold it up. So roll it round, fold it up, roll it round, fold it up. And that gives me, there we go, roll it round, fold it up, roll it round. And because mine's a little bit shaped, it means that they don't all come out the same shape. Some of them go off to an angle, which looks so much more natural. So I'm just going to do the largest 2, or should I say the largest 2 flowers, so all 4 pieces of those, because I'm using 4 pieces to make each flower. There we go, just roll it round, fold it up. Right, and it's so easy because the die has these cuts in it, these lines that cut through, meaning that the paper has almost had its broken. So whereas normally with flowers you have to shape them with a ball tool, this is almost done for you because the fibres have already been broken. So let's move those 2 out of the way. And then to make the flower up, I'm going to use one of the Craft Artist stamens. This is in the yellow. I'm going to remove the calyx from the bottom. These are all wired, so they're so easy to use. And you can use a little bit of glue glaze, or you can use a little bit of hot glue. I've got a little bit of hot glue here just for speed, but you just want to fix it on. So I put a little blob on there, take the smaller of the two and just push it on. A little bit more glue and push the next one on, making sure that you rotate the petals. So can you see I'm filling that gap before I push up to give me the right shape. To make them a little bit bigger, so I could stop at that, or I can add another layer. I'm going up to the largest one and again just push that up, move it round so it's kind of filling a gap. A little bit more glue and put the final one on, and again this one wants to be rotated so that once again it's filling the gap. And you can see there how we get, and you can just pull a few petals out if you want to, we get that beautiful piece. And if you want to really secure it, you can pop a little bit more glue into it, again using either hot glue or the glue glaze. The glue glaze will take that little bit longer to go off, but I just push the calyx on to give it a nice back. And then if I want to mount this onto a card or project, I would simply cut off the wire at the back, and you can use that for another project. And there I have my beautifully secured flower. So what I've done here is I've actually got a card I've already made using the stencil sentiments and the canard edges, all from the John Next Door range. And this is Crafts 2 linen card in white and ochre. But I love this, you get a little difference to do that way. It's sort of almost like a rocker card. And I want to add some leaves to this. So what I've actually done is I've already cut the leaves, and I've just used a little bit of a darker green ink just to show you, holding the leaf in the air, just flick around. And again I've done the same with them cut in a lighter green. So I've used pine and olive here, and that just adds that little bit of difference onto it. So I've got some leaves, so we're just going to simply arrange those on our card. So I'll use the hot glue for speed, so I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue down. I'm going to take perhaps the largest leaf and we'll add it there. And I always like to put a little bit of foliage into the places where I'm going to have my flowers. So I think opposing corners would look quite nice on this. So I've got my little bit of foliage down. Let's go with my first large flower. So let's have a little collection there. So I might want another little leaf there, because I'm going to go with a smaller flower and a smaller still. So we'll just stick those on, and I'm going to take some of the smaller leaves, which is why I always include these little smaller leaves in, just to make it look that little bit more natural, because I'm going to tuck them in, because flowers don't grow from the leaves. They all kind of grow together and intermix. So I think it looks so nice when you've got them mixed in. So using both colours, lighter one there. I think I need one more little lighter one. Just tucked in. Ooh, there. Don't worry about the trails of glue. I can always move those later or clean them up. So a little bit of glue there, pull that off. So there I've got a really nice little collection at the bottom there, and I'm going to take this sort of almost mid-sized flower. I'm going to pop him there, and just one more of the paler pieces into there, and there we go. So I'm not even used the full set, but that's sort of part one of the first flower to do with the new anemone. And this gives you this really sort of bunched up flower with the beautiful centre.